everyone, and welcome to Flosstube number 39. Today is the 9th of December and I'm here to give you an update of what I've been working on over the last 2 weeks. Welcome to any new viewers or new subscribers. And also welcome back to anyone who's been here before. Luna's not very impressed with me at the moment because I tried to share the chair with her where she's been sleeping all morning and she wasn't having a bar of it. So, I mean, I only need it for about 20 minutes to half an hour every 2 weeks, but it's her chair and she wants her chair, so she's going. I think she might be alright settled here with me, but we'll see. Today I worked on, this last 2 weeks I've worked on 7 pieces for a total of 10,705 stitches. And I also, as you probably will see, I decided to go ahead and take the risk of a Christmas tree. It is still standing. Luna has not been hugely interested in it other than taking a nap on the tree skirt the first night that it was put up. She pretty much seems to have ignored it pretty much ever since, other than the odd sniff. So we'll take that as a win. What? Am I on your chair? She's not a happy camper. I'm back and hopefully that'll settle her down for at least a little while. She's got some treats that she's happily eating now. So, I don't know where I was, but for December, I decided at the very last minute to stitch on 500 stitches on a piece, or approximately that much, before changing pieces. Of course, there was a couple of exceptions, and that was the Halloween Afghan that I want to get the page finished for, and the Mythical alphabet stitch along from Pain Free Crafts. So that one's kind of still getting the 1,000 stitches per week. Yep, she's happy now. So let's make a start. The first piece I have, she's not occupied very long at all. She didn't eat them all. She just came over for, oh, maybe she's going back to them. Okay, the first piece I have is the mini sunflower cottage, which was my new start for the 1st of December, and that is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Donna Gelsinger, and you should be seeing what it should look like in the end. You won't see a before photo because this was a new start. So this one got 1,243 stitches and is stitched on 25 count 1/1 using CXC thread. And this is where we're at now. So just moving a bit closer. You can see I've got this top heart finished and this other heart filled in. When I was starting this one, I made a decision not to stitch the darker shades that were in this corner and just to stitch it 995 right across. And I'm really happy I made that decision. It just seemed a little odd that it was darker right in that corner. So, yeah, that is about 2% completed so far. So the next piece I have, pulling them out of my pile beside me, okay, is Wizard Septimus. This is also a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it is based on the artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny. And you should be seeing where or what it should look like and what it looked like last time you saw it. And this one got 1,011 stitches on it, so it's probably not all that noticeable because of a lot of what I've been working on is in the cream clouds. But here is where we're at now. So here is where I've been focusing in on filling in those, bringing some of these parked threads down. There's still a few to go, but I'm really happy with how this one's looking. And yeah, so how I was doing my 500 stitches is I was using the Tiny Decisions wheel, and I would do my 500 stitches and then I would spin again to get another project. I wasn't restricting it to not have any repeats, because it just meant that that piece was going to get an extra 500 stitches in it, although it seemed to be more like 600 because I'd be just wanting to finish a thread or something at the end. But yeah, so leave that one on my lap. Okay, the next one I have is the Halloween Afghan, and this is a Stony Creek piece, and I'm stitching it on 20 count 2/2. You should be seeing where you saw it last time, and here is where we're at now. So just trying to, it's an awfully big piece of fabric, trying to get it all in camera. Okay, here we go. So I'm on the second row of pages, and I'm working on the second page at the moment. So I have finished the pumpkin at the very bottom, so that kind of extends into the next row of pages, but I wanted to finish the pumpkin and get it all sorted and not have to come back to that pumpkin later. And then I've done the flags for the H and the A, and I've started on the L as well. And at the bottom they've got glow in the dark thread. So they kind of look like candy corns, not that we see them here in New Zealand, but from my understanding that's what they are meant to be, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they're meant to be candy corns. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this one's coming along, but it is going to slow down stitching on it next year. I think I'm going to try and get just one page done every 2 months rather than one page every month, because it's about 3,500 to 5,000 stitches per page at the moment, and the pages are getting more fully stitched as it goes on. I think about page 10 is the turning point where it starts to become quite heavy stitching. So I figured I will just aim for a page every 2 months, and that will just make it a little bit less pressure on myself. So I'm working on this one with Stitching Addicted, who's also around about the same point that I'm at, and I've also know that Enchanted Stitching is also working on it. She's on page 2, and there's a couple of other people, but I can never think of them off the top of my head. I need to write them down next time. I'm totally going to write them down next time. If I remember. Okay, so that piece had 3,307 stitches in it over the last 2 weeks. so that's quite significant. Okay, the next piece I have is Blackbeard, and this one had 1177 stitches on it. So this is a pain-free crafts piece based on the artwork by Adrian Chesterman, and this is stitched on 25 count 1/1. All of my full coverages are on 25 count 1/1. I just forget to state as much. So this one, again, it's not that obvious where I've stitched, I don't think, but you should be seeing where you saw it last time, and a image of what it looks like, will look like overall. But here's where it is now. So you can see, or you may be able to see, I have just about finished this page. There's about 12 stitches left on the page, and it's like 9 different colors, so it was gonna take a while. Next time I'll finish off that page and then go on to the next page. There's a lot of white and things because of the clouds, and you can see that the string is what this pirate is holding on to. Well, you'll see it later on when the next row of pages comes through. So I'm really happy with how this one's coming along. I just wish it had gotten a bit more progress, but that seems to be the way things are with those kind of things. Yeah, I mean, I looked at all of my pieces that I've worked on over the year and the stitch counts that I've gotten for them, and I was looking at it going, well, the top 3 or 4 pieces that I've worked on has been about 150,000 stitches, because the Planets Align had about 50,000, the Mythical Creatures alphabet had about nearly 40,000 that has gone into that one, and there's a couple of other big ones that have had quite a bit of progress. So that's part of the reason I'm trialing this 500 stitches and then changing. So it just means that I'll get a bit more even coverage, hopefully, across all of my pieces, except I think maybe next year I will restrict the repeats. I'm not sure yet. I kind of like the repeats because it just makes a little bit more progress on some of those pieces. But anyway, I've gotten distracted. I've still got 2 pieces here to show you. I should have 3. Hang on. I should have 3. Okay, I found it pretty much as soon as I stood up, because when I got up to give Luna the treats, it had moved. Okay, so the next piece I have is one that probably, I don't think has come out in a while. So this is Mini Heart of the Storm. It is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and this one got 952 stitches on it. This was another one that I got a little bit carried away on. I got to my 500 and then I looked at it and went, well, there's no point changing to something else tonight, so I'll just keep going on it, and it stitched up quite quickly. So you should be seeing where you saw it last time, and here is where we're at now. So you can see I was working on this area where the ruins are behind the owl. I don't really have any more of the owl to work on until I get to the next page. So it's just a matter of filling in a bit more of this background, getting more of the owl in for the next page, and yeah. A lot of the next page is kind of half filled in from the owl when I did the above page, just because all the colours carry down, but there are a lot of gaps still in there. So yeah, it was really nice working on this one, and I'd love to get a bit more progress on it. but it's just going to be a matter of what the wheel says. So I've got 2 pieces left here. One of them is the Mythical Creatures alphabet by Pain Free Crafts, and this was based on the artwork by Stanley Morrison. This was the 2020 stitch along. I believe there's another one starting next year for Pain Free Crafts, but I don't think it's starting at the start of the year. I think it's more a mid-year start. So we'll have to see what that one's going to be. The last one they did was 2022, and it was themed around the wind and the willows. I personally liked the Mythical alphabet more than that one, but I think that's a cultural side of it, because the wind and the willows is a very British kind of theme, I should say. It's not so much something that we see over here in New Zealand. And I've got Luna here pretty much demanding to know, are you not finished yet? So keeping moving, this is the Mythical Creatures alphabet. So where you should be seeing where you saw it last time, and also here is where we're getting to. So I don't know if I can get, yeah, I think I did scroll right to the bottom, but okay, where you saw it last time, half of the W was finished. So the W is now finished and all of the back stitching is there for it. I've now done the X, the ZOW, the back stitching has not been finished for that one, and then I've got the Y and the Z to go still. So the Y will be this weekend. It's only about 800 stitches, so I'll get that done, and then I will get the back stitching on the X as well. And then the Z might be close to being done before my next video, so that will be exciting. Might be finished before Christmas. We'll see. It all just depends on how things go with work and everything else, because it's getting to that point where everything goes crazy, and we're currently in a system of migration over to our new owners' servers and everything. So everything's a little bit complicated and frustrating at the moment. So it's a bit frustrating, I should say. The last time half the company did one of the stages of migration, they couldn't access any Word documents, any emails, or anything for about 3 days. So it's gonna be interesting. I know that one. And in Dunedin, we were lucky enough that we didn't go ahead with that stage of the migration when everyone else did, because we were remote essentially, and there was no one to deal with it in person. So we will find out on Monday how this has gone. That was the plan this weekend, to move us all over to the server. So we'll see. It's going to be an exciting week, especially as I've got 2 big jobs this week that are multi-days. So it may not go very well, but we'll get there. And we're definitely in that countdown phase until Christmas. There is 10 business days left until we have our Christmas shutdown, until the 8th of January. So that is very exciting, but also there is a lot to do before that point, so it's going to be busy. And Luna is back telling me to get off her chair. Okay, so I have one last piece to show you, and that is Little Helpers. So this one had 633 stitches on it. And that pretty much finished off the last of this page. So you should be seeing where you saw it last time. And here is where we're at now. You should have also seen a photo of what it looks like. So this is an Anne Stokes piece, chartered by Pain Free Crafts. And if you haven't already haven't already been given the information, if you're looking on for any Pain Free Crafts pieces that they've chartered for Anne Stokes, the current ones are all being retired at the end of December. So again, if you have been on the fence about looking at it or buying any, or have been wanting to go have a look at them, definitely would recommend it. I know I purchased a couple of them. So yeah, and this particular one is a retired pattern, so they do switch out a bit just to get some variations. And yeah, so one last thing to share with you, and then I will let Luna hit this chair. As you can tell, she's desperate for it, to have the whole chair to herself. She just didn't want to share. So I had big plans of doing videos with this colour changing hot drink advent calendar that was 12 days. It was a Harry Potter one. It was meant to change into one of the 4 houses. And I had day 1, tasted it and went, yeah, I can't drink this. They're not palatable. So the instructions say to use hot water. I have tried milk and milk with a lot of sugar, and that's the only way that makes them drinkable. So if you do see any of those advent calendars that are the Harry Potter colour changing ones, don't advise it. I will put up a few pictures. I've seen 3 of them now. It took a few days before I was willing to actually give it another go after the first one was so bad. So it just comes along for that. Hello. Bye. So I might show a few pictures of that, and maybe a picture of the full tree. Yeah, that might happen. Anyway, I will leave you all to it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and I will see you back. I think there's one more video before Christmas, and then it'll just about be time for a whip parade. That will be exciting. I know I was looking at my totals for the year on certain pieces, and some of them have got a lot of stitches and some of them have had very little. So a little bit disappointing, but it just means I need to think carefully around my goals for 2024, and I keep trying to think it, or almost say it's next year's 2023. It seems strange to be writing or saying 2024, but anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and have some lovely weather. It's pretty overcast here today, but it was absolutely beautiful yesterday, so you can't win every day. Alright, bye!